The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. Well, pleasant good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. I'm your host, Jason Strayhorn, along with my co-host, Jehuu Caulcrick. Don't forget the Jehuu. Otis Wiley is on assignment doing some really important things. Stay tuned for that. But this is Sparta. Thank you for joining our show. Always, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. There's a lot of people that are on the show that didn't subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, helps us a whole lot. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, and this is how to do that. Thanks for tuning in to This is Sparta MSU. Interested in hearing more from us? Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. Click on the link in the bio to head to our link tree for more information. Help us grow our following by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Tell your friends and family to do the same. Have an idea for a future episode? Let us know in the comment section below. And now, back to the show. Choo, man, how was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I played a little golf on Friday, did the USFL game. Nice Mother's Day celebration on Sunday. Yeah, it was very good. And then yesterday, on Monday, I had George Blaha's High Hopes Foundation golf tournament that I played in his golf outing there. Really good event, really, great event. So I was excited about it. So far, so good, man. What about you?
No, it was a good weekend, obviously Mother's Day, but talk about the George Blaha High Hopes golf outing. That's something that I'm typically in town for, but usually a lot of stars come out. It was usually a good crowd. Who was there yesterday?
Yeah, a lot of good people there. I played along in the group, and George did this on purpose with a old Wolverine down the road, Hooper Terry Mills. Really good dude. Had a chance to talk to him a little bit. Had a chance to talk to, hang out, take some pictures with Richard Rip Hamilton, the go to work Piston.
Yeah.
He had really, we were talking about state, and he was like, man, I'm really proud of AJ Holgard. He's from my hometown, and he's great. He's going to be something, so much better. And, the funny thing that we're talking about, and, we're talking about the fact that Holgard put his name in, for the NBA and stuff to see if he's going to come back or not. And we got talking to and Rip looked at me. He's like, man, could you imagine if we had NIL when we were in school? And he said, I would have stayed 4 years if we had NIL.
Rip out of UConn.
Right, yeah.
Man, he was one hell of a player, I swear. I mean, that's a good guy to be hanging out with, playing a little golf. And it's always a good time out there. Where'd you guys play?
We played at a course in West Bloomfield, the country club out there.
Tamashan, right?
Tamashan, yes.
Okay.
Really cool course. And the greens are tricky greens yesterday. But the thing is, people should know, only one ball the whole day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So all that driving for show and putting for dough, you didn't lose a ball, not one.
I didn't lose a ball. And don't get me wrong. I had a case full of them, expecting to lose a few, but I got all the bad stuff out on Friday, and I was dialed in yesterday.
Good for you, man. I mean, talking about your game is under construction a little bit, but there's also another construction project on campus. I don't know if people have been paying attention. There's a new football building under construction that looks to be opened up pretty soon. Here's a tour into the new football facility just for an update for everyone.
Spartan Nation, what's going on? Darian Harris here with Trey Mosley. Going to take you all through the new 65,000 square foot renovation of the football building here at Michigan State's campus. And it's going to be a really exciting day for us. You ready to go, Trey?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Right here is going to be a 20-foot tall angle board. It's going to be as unique as it gets in the country. 3 trophy cases designated for our national championship trophies. 6 of them, by the way.
Being able to see the history and continue the legacy, tradition, and elevate our game as well.
So the space we're standing in right now is going to be our gear lab. And right here, you'll be able to hit the screen right here, pull up all the different uniform combinations. There'll be actually a QR code that allows you to kind of take a screenshot to your phone of what you decided in terms of your favorite uniform combination of what we got.
I'm going to go green helmet, white jersey, green pants. Yeah, I like the green, white, green, offset it. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Then on the ground floor here, okay, it's what's called electrified glass. So the glass is going to light up, illuminate. It's going to be like Iron Man, right? So you're going to have an opportunity to actually virtually suit up, all right, and really visualize yourself, okay, as a Michigan State Spartan, as a Spartan Dawg.
Man, hey, that was cut short a bit, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse at to what is going on, the goings on over in East Lansing on campus. It's going to be a nice building, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely is. It's going to be a beautiful building. It's going to be state of the art, one of the best in the country. And that's the game. That's how college football is right now. If you want to be able to compete and get these recruits, you're going to have to be modifying these buildings here. I get people from the outside saying, well, why do we need all this? Didn't we just do a renovation a few years ago? That's in football years now, that's decades ago now, because it's always something bigger and better coming out. And if you want the top recruits to come in, these are the things that matter to them. The comfortability of an athlete, the wow factor of when they're on visit, when the parents are on visits. You have the dads that, careers fell short and they're living vicariously through their kids. If they can go on that electrified board and what they would look like in a uniform, that's something that's really cool. And I'm really excited with it. And talked to Darren a little bit over, I believe on Thursday, and he said that the locker room portion should be ready by August, so that the players will be in the facility for the locker room. And Stray, we talked about this with a couple guys, that chemistry. So this is huge for Spartan Nation.
Yeah, it's really huge. As you said, this is something that is almost something that's a necessity now in college sports. You look at Michigan State spending about $60-70 million for this new facility that is being built right now. Look down the road, Cincinnati, who is not a Big Ten school, they're going to be in the Big 12 soon. $134 million facility they're building down there in Cincinnati, the Bearcats. And then you look down the road to the east of us, Penn State is in the beginning stages of a $700 million upgrade. The investment in college athletics is incredible right now. And, it's wonderful to see for the athlete side, but it's something that, I think as a whole Spartan Nation just needs to understand and be educated on, because look, keeping up with the Joneses is a lot different than it used to be.
Exactly. Exactly. You can't just wow a kid with jerseys anymore. It's the facilities, it's the environment that they're going to be in, 70% of the time as their student athletes there. So they have to be comfortable. They have to be able to feel at home in those environments there. So that's the big thing that it takes, and it's not what it was. And we have to learn to move with the times and get ready, because it's only going to get bigger and better.
Right. So, playing in the NFL as long as you did, but being in the facility isn't just for comfort. Like being in there a long time, when I talk to the strength and conditioning guys, they say, in order to get the most out of the athlete, they need more than an hour every other day with the guys. They need a holistic approach, right? Being there for the treatment and stretching and cold and hot tubs and watching film and doing your class work that you need to do. Like being in an environment where you can kind of get it all done while working on your body just makes you a better version of you as that player, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And, also too, the mental aspect of it, if you're in a mentally good space, you're going to be able to compete at the highest level. You're going to be comfortable. You're going to be ready to go. But if you're not, if it's, raggedy, weight machines and raggedy locker rooms and everything like that, what happens is it develops a mindset of, everything here is raggedy, it's old, and you start thinking that, and then you're like, man. And what happens with that mentally, it starts weighing on your game now, because you look around, you see on Instagram, social media, all these other programs that are building these things. And you talk about coaches every single day, they have to recruit within their own program. These are factors that's coming into play as well. The facilities and the environment that's provided for these kids, that the nutritionist, the strength and conditioning staff, the coaches, the position coaches, the head coaches, the player development guy, all those people under one roof helps elevate the game and makes the player a more well-rounded athlete.
Well said, that Jehuu. I mean, and again, everyone, Otis is on assignment right now doing God's work. That's all we're going to say about what he's doing. Special announcements coming soon. And we also have a great announcement coming at the end of this show, because Choo promised you last week. He promised, and it's coming. But before we get to that, let's talk about the Nike shoe auction that's been going on here. You talk about to celebrate the 50th anniversary for Title IX. Each Michigan State head coach wore a customized Nike Air Force One shoe that showcased the Title IX legislation.
Yeah, man, these shoes are sick. They're all around, like, really, if you're a Spartan fan, it's worth the support for this, but also the bigger cause of it, that Title IX, aspect of it there. We all, benefit from that. If, the inclusion of women in sports and the affordability and providing them those opportunities only makes sports overall a lot better. And we saw that with the NCAA tournament this year. The women outshined the men's, this year. So, kudos to that, and kudos to Michigan State. Kudos to everyone that's a part of this, providing, funds and making this a cool experience, making it not just a one-off thing and we forget about it, continuing to live that legacy through and through.
Well, can you put that back up? Producer Pete in the background. I just want to see that one more time. Michigan State Athletics is auctioning off a pair of these exclusive customized shoes, with the proceeds benefiting a 37-word campaign. The shoes are size 11.5 for men's, 13 for women's. The 37-word campaign through the Spartan Fund was created to advance the mission of Title IX at MSU and enhance quality and equity efforts for Spartan student athletes. The auction ends Thursday, June 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure everyone's aware of that. Get you a pair of those nice Air Force Ones. Them ones, man. Those are ones.
As the kids would say, cop you a pair.
Cop a pair. I hope so, man. Like, moving on into the track and field, we got a record-setting performance, man. And I know you're going to want to talk about this. Opal Jackson sets the shot put record. Let's take a look.
First second attempt, 54.5 inches. Mark so far. 1706.
Woo! That ball was in the air a long time, Chew.
That was going. Perfect form on the spin. Some people are spin guys, some people are glide, and she's a spin. Get that power, low hips, explode those hips and get it out there, and just love the sheer excitement, because track and field, you work so hard to be an elite athlete in track and field, especially if you're a thrower in the power sports, the throwing side of things there. You just see the hard work, sweat and tears, and you see how excited her coach was for her, because going in, you have all these goals, and if you have the opportunity,
that left quad, man,
right,
man, that's serious now. That's some work. Woo! Look at that. Oh, man. Coming around on that, like, you got to be in that balance, stay tucked, and then explode at the front of the ring.
And you don't foul all that momentum.
Yeah, we're talking, that's 55 feet, 11 and over a half an inch for those keeping track. That's
congratulations to Miss Jackson.
Congrats, Miss Jackson. Opal, that's outstanding. Congratulations. The shot put records. I mean, you're a state champ. You know, she's a record holder.
She's a record holder.
I have a dinner or lunch with her. Talk to her about a little technique.
Right.
Little shot put shop talk. Also in track and field, Big Ten champion in the pole vault, Trevor Stevenson.
Second attempt for Stevenson of Michigan State in the pole vault. Meters 54. Let's make it 5 meters 49. 18 feet even. Michigan State with a clearance of 5 meters 49 centimeters, 18 feet even. Senior Trevor Stevenson.
How great is that?
That is awesome. And I can like, kudos to the pole vaulters, man. You trusted your life on that one pole there. You know, like, could you see my big ass trying to go on that?
I think we could get some bend on that thing. But I don't know about the catapult over the bar. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You gotta be almost kind of like a kamikaze style mindset to do this.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's great to watch. It's like poetry in motion. You know, everything has to be right. Your placement of it, and you know, you have to time it right. Your run, you mark your steps and everything. It's complete poetry in motion. And you know, kudos to them and congratulations to Mr. Stevenson.
Big time, forever a pole vault Big Ten champion. Congrats, Trevor. That's awesome. You know, look at it. So we got a shot put record holder. And now Big Ten champ in the pole vault. The field's taking it. And then we're going to go to the golf course where the women are now regional champs in the NCAA tournament. Tickets punched.
Yeah, man, that's great. You know, they're champs. You know, now they're going to the big dance now, where it, like, you know, really counts there. So congratulations to them. We all know golf. Everyone that's played golf is the most humbling sport that you can play, Stray. You know, you're going to hit good shots and then you turn around, you hit a great drive, you turn around and you duff it with your iron and you end up 3-4 putting, you know. But when everything's on, you know, like it is for these women right now, and their hard work is paying off and they get this attention. And I'm just glad we get to provide, we have a platform to promote them and their sport, because, you know, obviously it's not talked about enough throughout, you know, the country, but we at this Sparta MSU believe, you know, it's an important, you know, spot for them and give them the platform for it.
Coach Stacy Slobnick does it again. Didn't get the Big Ten championship this year. She's got a ton of those, but a regional championship, and now being able to go on to the NCAAs in Scottsdale, Arizona at Greyhawk Country Club. It's going to be a great event, and, you know, Michigan State looks to make some noise in the nation. I mean, this is a school who has a very storied tradition in the women's golf area, and it'll look much success for them going forward. And I think they got a shot. So maybe, I don't know. Look, you've been out to Phoenix at a golf outing not too long ago. It was a tournament. Waste management.
Yeah, the Phoenix Waste Management Open.
Yeah, man, you sounded, you know, like you were really locked in when you were out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was great. You know, it was great golf weather. Arizona provides that, great courses out there. So these ladies are going to have a great time there, and while competing for a national title.
Yeah, I love to do a show from there if you like, Phoenix.
From the 16th hole at the
have a little fun out there with Choo Choo. Man, you know, like going to the football side of things for a second. Bryce Baringer, he signs his contract with the Patriots. 4 years, $4.01. Don't forget the 01 million dollars.
You know, that is great. Congratulations to him. You know, his hard work, is paying off. He had one of those roller coasters careers in college. At one point he wasn't even a part of the team. At one point he was the video guy and just continued to be persistent and work his way. And when his moment came, he took advantage of that moment and became the best punter out there in the country. It's a damn shame he didn't win that Ray Guy Award as he should have, but now he's just showing, by his performance at the Pro Day and at the Combine, and then leading to him being drafted and now getting this big payday. Congratulations to Bryce.
So we got two trophy people that we have a gripe with. Obviously the Heisman for K9 in 01 and 21, and then the Ray Guy people. So we gotta figure this out. They gotta right the ship. Maybe we got some more players coming up in the future that can get back on those lists, and they can do the right thing. But just terrible that he didn't win it. You're right, but congratulations to him getting his deal signed. These deals are normally slotted, but getting the agents in there and getting it done is a big thing. So now he doesn't have to worry about the business side of things. Just get out there. He's in rookie minicamp now, I'm sure. And just time to work on his craft wearing a different color out there in Gillette Stadium.
And with the evil empire.
The evil empire, right? Belichick loves Spartans. But I'll tell you what, we will come back to you with some more football news after this message from our friends over at IHOP.
When you're smiling.
Introducing IHOP's new Eggs Benedicts. When you take a poached egg, add it to a crispy English muffin, fire-roasted poblano peppers, and shredded beef with our rich and buttery hollandaise sauce. You don't just get our handcrafted new Eggs Benedicts on your plate. You get a smile on your plate. New Eggs Benedicts in 4 delicious flavors, only from IHOP.
Choo-choo, we got some XFL awards to talk about here. Championship appearances, the XFL, brought by our Michigan State's own Shakur Brown and Jacob Hanashuk.
Yeah, these two guys had an opportunity to square off for the championship, this week here. And Shakur Brown, his team, the Arlington Renegades, they were able to pull that off and won, giving Bob Stoops, their coach, another piece of hardware to add to his collection. But, it was great, having two Spartans in the final game. It just shows the level of football that's played at Michigan State, that these guys can compete on any level.
Without question. And then talking about guys competing on a high level in the XFL, 2 all XFL candidates are former Spartans, and that's Mike Panashuk and Drew Beasley.
Yeah, both great Spartans when they were, here wearing the green and white, and they get to go on and, showcase those skills, in the XFL. Great for them, taking advantage of that opportunity and running with it.
Mike Panashuk was a defensive lineman at Michigan State, along with his brother Jacob. Converted a little bit because he, seemed to be a pretty outstanding athletic guy on the offensive side of the ball, playing center. Got himself an actual camp invite to the Steelers.
Yeah, he's going to have the opportunity to go into minicamp and showcase his ability and have a chance to play on Sundays. And he's a guy that I think he's ahead of the curve there, because what they look for, what Coach Tomlin look for, he's a hard-nosed coach. He's going to, put the players through the rings. He doesn't care if these guys, how much money you make. You're a professional athlete. The toughest training camps are the Pittsburgh Steelers training camp. You can ask anybody around the league that if you are in the Steeler training camp, be ready to hit every single day. And that's that mental aspect of it. Because once you don that black and gold, you have to have that blue collar mentality. You have to have that mentality of you're going to go out there and punch your opponent in the mouth every single time. And like Coach Tomlin would always say, the standard is the standard. So you're going to have to live up to it. And I think he's going to have the opportunity to do that. And I think he's going to perform well in camp.
Yeah, looks like a guy who, prototypical size for the center position, maybe a step slower, maybe a little bit not as heavy as you'd like as a 3 technique type of defensive lineman, or maybe, doesn't have that explosiveness. But on the offensive side of the ball, he's tailor-made to be a great offensive lineman, and just being able to pick it up and be comfortable in a position that is completely counterintuitive to everything you've been through as a human being your entire life. So stop people from running forward at you by being back, standing upright, and catching them, but then putting them on the ground at the same time. It's all over the place. Too. But who understands offensive linemen but other offensive linemen? So, look, Chew, like when we talk about these opportunities for players in the XFL, you're covering what's going on in the USFL for the Michigan Panthers. Isn't it great to see more opportunities now for guys to get camp opportunities to the NFL where they otherwise didn't have that prior to the World Bowl?
Yeah, you're 100% right, because back in 2000, I believe, was the last season of the NFL Europe, and where those players had the opportunity to be kind of the NFL teams owned the rights to the players, and they would go to these different teams throughout Europe and play. But since then, there hasn't been an opportunity for these guys. Basketball, there's the G League that the guys can develop in there. Baseball, there's the minor leagues. Football, for over a few decades now, it was either you made it to the NFL or you didn't, and you had guys who would spend their entire time training to get an opportunity to go and work out for a team. But now they have the opportunity to, one, get paid, make money, and two, showcase their talents, because they know when the season is in the spring. So now when they're done, they have the opportunity to go be invited, like Panashu was, to a camp, coming up here for the NFL. And it's the same thing with the USFL. It's really, really cool to see, because you look through the roster, you got guys that bounce around 4 different NFL teams, or you got a guy like in the USFL, Michigan Panthers, Josh Butler, he didn't have the opportunity for a combine because of COVID, so he couldn't showcase his talents there. He's a guy that, just been training and getting ready. You're talking to these guys, they had 9 to 5 jobs, and now they have the opportunity to continue to live out their dreams. So it's great. People might, poo-hoo on the XFL or the USFL saying it's not the NFL. You're right. It's not the NFL, but it's something that gives these guys a pathway to the NFL. So take advantage of it if you're a player. And know, as a player coming out, just because you don't get your name called on draft day, you don't get your name, invited to a camp or anything like that, it's not the end. You're still talented enough to play in these leagues, showcase your talent amongst, highly competitive guys that's been in the NFL, and then you can get that second chance at it.
And a lot of guys have been, documented to have, 2, 3, 4, 5 chances before they finally break through on a roster. Hopefully some of these Michigan State guys that have been that people know can not only get their shot in the NFL, but as they're doing that, develop a name brand for themselves, get themselves some notoriety and a little money.
Right.
These guys left out on NIL. They didn't have NIL treatment
exactly
today, man. I mean, it's a different world. I mean, you got facilities like this, money, and now look, we got a minor league that isn't college football in the XFL and USFL. For you, Chew, like, you've been around the country, talking to a lot of different players. What is it like for guys? Take people inside of a player who is on the bubble, so to speak, to get into an NFL team, trying to stay in shape, waiting on that call, trying to make ends meet before, if you have a family, if you're getting ready to start a family, all those things. Talk about what that journey is like.
Yeah, that journey, like if you, a player that you're with a team during camp, and you get cut the last day of camp, you have that film from the preseason games, and something that's against these guys now. Before, you had an opportunity for 4 preseason games to display your opportunity and talents. Now it's only 2 preseason games, so you have to show everything there, and you might not get the burn that you expect, that you want, and then you're done. So now you have 2 choices. You have to go find a job because you want to maintain a lifestyle. You want to be able to pay for a roof over your head, and while you're working your 9 to 5, you got to be training as well to stay in shape, because you think you might get that call. You're in touch with your agent. Hey, did anyone reach out? Am I gaining any interest, with any teams? This is what I can do. Some guys take it into their own hands by sending messages to teams saying, hey, this is my film. I just want a shot. I'll pay my own way to my workouts and everything like that. So it's these guys that really, really want to live out their dreams and, coming to do that. And that's why it's so important to have these leagues like the USFL and the XFL. So these guys can, earn a salary, earn a living wage, and also continue their path to their dreams of one day playing at the top level, playing in the NFL.
In talking about the facility upgrades that you're seeing around the country, a lot of schools, and you've seen this in the Michigan State plans, that there's a special group of lockers for NFL guys. I would say it's pro football guys that are players that are still in the game, that are no longer at Michigan State. Talk about that ability to be able to come back to your home school and get some training in, be around the guys, because that's really what people miss the most when you're a player, is the camaraderie that is lost a lot of times as you're trying to reach your pinnacle.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge, Stray. And, you talk about it. What better, recruiting tool for a player, hey, your day is, your goal is to go to the NFL. When you're done with the NFL, or when you're in their off season in the NFL, you made it to the NFL, you're in their off season, or you're still trying to work out to get back on a team, you can come back to your home school, where the facilities, the town, the coaches, the training staff, and there's a spot for you. You can go in the locker and store your stuff. That wasn't there when I went to San Diego and trained. I had to go and rent a place in San Diego, pay for a personal trainer, in the facility in there. I had to go do all that stuff. But now these kids have the opportunity to come back to their home, locker room that they're used to. And that's what we talked about, earlier with these facility updates. It's all about the ecosystem for the athlete, making them feel the most comfortable, because they can perform the best when you're comfortable. If you know the place, you're going to go 100 miles an hour, you're going to go faster, you're going to be more successful. If you're out there guessing in an uncomfortable position, you don't go as hard. So now this is absolutely huge. And it's a big recruiting tool for these guys, saying, hey, once you're a Spartan Dawg, you're always a Spartan Dawg, and you always have a home here. If you're training to get back in the league, you can come back and use our facilities. You can come and use our showers. You can store your stuff in a locker. You can use our coaches, our trainers, all those different things. It's really, really cool, and it's really important. And I don't think a lot of schools in the country do that, but the Spartans are doing that.
Yeah, they sure are doing it on a high level. And what people may not know is that now with strength and conditioning, you have the coaches that kind of work with your current coach. So you can the NFL strength and conditioning guy, or your personal guy that you pay for in another town will talk with a Jason Novak or Dr. Guess in the strength and conditioning department and be able to come up with that workout plan that's tailor-made for you. Everything is a lot different than, the weight room that you or I and the people, maybe the guys are watching this and gals watching this, because it is specific to the athlete. Whatever they're deficient in, they find ways, they have specific plans to make you a holistically better athlete, mind, body, and soul. So that physical piece that we're talking about in the gym, like, this is state of the art. Like, this is great for Michigan State. And like you said, you're having pros in the weight room, in the locker room, while you're a freshman trying to learn like how to even get to class on time, does help you.
And something that I absolutely love about this, this way that you just talked about, like tailoring the workouts for the person, and not everyone's the same, because talk about, like, we all, I want to talk about in between the ears, the mental aspect of the game now for a second. Let's go to the college level there, and you're a high school freshman coming in. I can attest to this. Otis can attest to this. Stray, you were just a different beast. You came in strong. You could bench all day. So you didn't have that issue. But you're going in there with guys from all over the country. People are at different developmental level. You didn't have the opportunity to lift, all this. And you come in there, you're lifting with sophomores, juniors, seniors, and they're pushing weight, and you're struggling with 225 on the bar, if that. And now, with the way that things are tailored, you don't have to lose that mental game every time you go into the weight room. You don't have to dread going into the weight room because you can't lift as much as a senior if you're a freshman. Everything's tailored to you, and it's your body type, and it's what's going to make you the most optimal athlete that you can be, and working your fast twitch, your quick twitch muscles, all those different things. The nutrition piece and the strength piece has really changed the game of football for the better, physically and mentally.
Without question. It's something that's something that's a must for the athletes of today. And if you don't buy into these things as an athlete and you're not getting those gains that you need on the field, listen, guys, like this is too much on the line nowadays, with the transfer portal being right there. It's a reality. So, to stay out of that, and I'm talking in those situations where players realize that they can't make it at a certain level. This is what we're talking about. And usually if a guy is plugged in 100% and doing everything the coaches are asking, you're going to see the results that you need. Most of the time, there are some other cases that it doesn't happen, but it's needed. This is not a luxury item. This is something that is a necessity thing for the way things are now. And we're talking about necessity. We got to know to, like, you surprised me and Otis last time. I think it was Tuesday, last week. We had the beautiful Mother's Day show that you didn't show up for, but that's okay. You were there in spirit.
I was there in spirit. I love you, by the way. Shout out to all the moms that were on that. It was absolutely it was a roller coaster of a show. At that time I was at that Spartan Explore Detroit event there, and I was there with Darian Harris, Dylan Tatum, Malik Carr, and they were so excited that their mothers were hosting. Malik, we're in the thing, he's watching it on his phone. He said he watched the show twice, and it just showed like how proud these guys are of their mothers and in their mothers. And, shout out to them for, being thrown in the fire, we call baptism by fire there. And, great job to them. And Alicia absolutely crushed it. She absolutely crushed it. If we need a show moderator now, she's in on that. We ever get a debate show or something like that, she's the moderator on that there, because she absolutely crushed it. All four ladies did a tremendous job, and they almost got me, Stray.
They almost did.
They almost got me when they had the messages from the kids, the Happy Mother's Day. Oh man, I was like, ooh.
Gotta take some breaths.
Yeah. I had to take who the hell's cutting onions in here?
It's incredible. Now, Chew, we're all sitting here with bated breath wondering, what is it? What is it that you have a special announcement to bring all the listeners? Here it is, right here.
I've had people reaching out to me today. Tom Story, a bunch of other listeners. Hey, what is this special announcement? Like, I'm not going to just tell one person. You got to watch the show for the special announcement. So this announcement's so big, I couldn't even do it myself. So what I had to enlist someone to help me make this announcement. So without further ado, Pete, could you please?
What is going on? This is Sparta MSU. I am here with me, Big E. And, this, we're talking about big announcement coming up. SummerSlam's coming to Ford Field right here in Detroit. This guy, his biz, my biz. And by the way, he played at Iowa. I did. It's true. Just so, fellow Big Tenner. All right, 2 of you will have a chance to win tickets to come with the crew, myself, Otis, and Jason. What? To SummerSlam! SummerSlam! August 5th! Got a chance. 2 of y'all. SummerSlam. Here.
Ooh, okay. SummerSlam. 2 tickets? So, that's you, me. So you're saying just 2 of us can go and nobody else? What are you saying?
No. You, me, 2 people can have a chance to win that hangout experience with us at SummerSlam.
Man.
We're gonna be there. You know, and it's gonna be good tickets. You're not gonna be sitting up top. You don't need binoculars. You know.
Oh no, Chew is he's WWE expert now. All the guys talk to him. They hang out. I mean, I bet this is okay. This is gonna be bigger than you're not even selling this right. Look, we're gonna have all the access in the world here. You talking about WWE with this guy? Listen.
We might meet a couple guys. We might go out for drinks afterwards.
You might have to check your phones.
Check the phone.
Hanging with you might end up at Rick's. So it might be
all the way from Detroit.
Ford Field to Rick's.
No, man, it's going to be a great event. WWE puts on a terrific event. Whatever city that they go in, they do a lot of stuff for the community, impact the community in revenue side and entertainment side. And so I'm just happy and excited that we at This is Sparta MSU can share this experience with some of our, listeners and our viewers out here. So it's going to be a great event. SummerSlam, Big E, myself, Jason, Otis. This is Sparta MSU takeover of SummerSlam. Exciting stuff.
Oh man! So we're gonna come with what we're gonna do in order to win this sweepstakes soon. Choo just you follow our socials as Pete says right here for more info. We'll get more info as to how you can win these tickets. But that's cool. You actually had Biggie. That was cool. That's real cool, man. You just full of star power. This guy, I swear. That's awesome. And so yeah, I can picture this whole night. That's going to be a very, 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 very cool night, guys. I think that this was a concise show. It was good, informational.
It was very informational. I felt like this show today. I felt like a report. I was going. I felt we were both spitting.
Just telling people the truth. I mean, look. There's a lot going on all over. We're going to get some more updates on that trip that went on in Detroit when Otis comes back on Thursday night. We're going to also talk about what's going on in NBA right now. See what's up with Day-Day as Draymond Green is no longer in the fight right now, but he's going into free agency. We're going to have Tom Izzo is going to be in the Orange County, California area. I don't know who lives out there. For a golf outing, so we may catch up with him.
You were saying Tom Izzo was going to be co-hosting the show.
Yeah, there he goes. maybe we can get a little Tom Izzo interview. I'll do a little bit of that. But then there's a lot of things that we're going to cover in the next episode. But for Choo, I'm Jason Strayhorn. This is Sparta MSU. Have a good night. God bless, and go green.
Go white.
This is Sparta MSU as a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Pete Menez with additional support from Tony Costella. Operations and social media support is provided by Alicia Strayhorn with support from Cecily Max Brown. On-location technical support is provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our hosts Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta News. Please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.